I'm 39-year-old straight guy and I act kind of gay to look accepted in your community. The token straights. We've got the token straights in here. One of the good ones. My boyfriend's parents are MAGA. When I was in college, I hooked up with a guy in his 70s. What? What? Like, he had a dissolving ED medication under his tongue. I didn't know, and I got it in my mouth and swallowed it by accident. I didn't want to top, but he obviously couldn't, so I did. I realized later that I was probably dosed by the old conniving bottom. That old conniving bottom. They have a few tricks up their sleeve, don't they? Stop. Topping a 70-year-old just sounds like an instant prolapse. Okay. I still haven't told my parents that I'm gay yet. I'm 24 years old. They're Catholic and very much old school. I don't want to tell them because I'm afraid they'll kick me out. I don't think they should know because it's not their business. Thoughts? If you think that you are at risk of being kicked out of your house, then definitely don't do it. Definitely don't tell them. You know, especially, like we were just saying, like in this economy, it's really fucking hard to be out on your own. So I think if you feel like you would be at risk of that, definitely do not tell them. But I also think that, you're 24. This is like an important time in your life to start building your own family, to reach out to, the LGBTQ community, like near you, like even if it's like in secret and you're keeping it from your parents and being low key about it, start building those connections with other LGBTQ people near you. Start building, your chosen family. Yeah, do it when you have more independence. One of my best friends was drunk driving and hit a man that was biking. Oh my God, he is alive, but I guess the collision wasn't bad enough for them to take her to the station and all that. But basically, she got away with hitting a 60-year-old man on a bike while heading to the store to get more alcohol. Now he is suing her and deserves all the money. I think about him almost daily. Hope he can bike again. Haven't looked at her the same since. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I dry humped someone for 40 minutes with the lights on and with the Eras Tour playing on Disney Plus in the background, and I kept stopping and turning around for All Too Well 10-minute version, then realized the window was wide open facing the street, and now I fear there's a video evidence of me out there being a bad Swiftie and not devoting my full attention to the show. I hate you guys. When I was in college, I had Jack and Jill style bathroom that would get locked randomly by my suite mates. There was one other bathroom in the building. I had to shit in a plastic bag because of this sometimes. I had a bunch of shame over this years because my bestie found out and she would give me random Ziploc bag gifts at awkward moments. I mean, sometimes you have to shit in a bag. At least you did it in a bag. When I was 20, I entered my first relationship with a guy. He was a sinister, drug-abusing homosexual, unbeknownst to me because he was very shisty and good at leading young and unsuspecting men along. I found this out once we went to a music festival and he fed me acid and ketamine, where him and his roommate took me out on the boat to the middle of the lake at night and played a prank that they were going to drown me. That is so fucked up. That is so fucked up. That's like PTSD, like trauma. That is fucking trauma. Like, I disassociated the rest of the weekend in the tent while the entire campground of festival goers mocked me outside. I feel like there are two versions of me, the person I was before that happened and the person afterwards, me now, who is incapable of trusting anyone ever. No, that is fucking trauma. Like, no wonder. Just know that that's not normal. That is not normal, and that's not how normal people act. I hate to admit that I wish I could go back in time knowing who I was with and ruin his life. Damn. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm a gay man. I'm sorry. A couple of weeks ago, I started to fantasize about having a threesome with a man and a woman, and I liked thinking about it. I also started to think back at my past relationships and realized how easily bored I get in these relationships. I'm starting to consider having multiple partners. Thank you. Porn addict. The first time I went to therapy at 17, she was brand new, and I told her my mom was cheating, and she reported it to CPS for some reason 1 week before Christmas and ruined Christmas. That is so fucked up that your therapist like spilt the tea like that. That is like such bad practice, right? Like, I thought therapists weren't supposed to like fucking tell anything unless like somebody was at risk of being murdered or killed. Sometimes I felt like breaking up with my long-term boyfriend because he's rarely intimate with me and hasn't developed much as a person to the growth I've experienced after moving in with him. He's had a lot of struggles with mental health. I have no clue what to do about it. I've talked with him about it and nothing much has changed. The other night he asked me to marry him and I told him no because I don't think he's ready for that. To me, marriage requires more commitment and he just isn't there yet. I love him, but I don't know what to do because he has been with me through so much and has been so supportive of my growth. He takes a good care of me. Without his financial help, I wouldn't be able to live away from my parents and I do not want to move back in with them. I want him to catch up with my development because I care so much about him and I don't think he's getting proper mental help. He needs to grow and it makes my heart hurt. You know, I don't know what to say besides like talk about it. You know, like sometimes I guess some people have a harder time like, you know, talking about it than others, but yeah, it sounds like you really need some of that communication. One of my closest friends suddenly just stopped talking to me and I don't want to make things awkward by verbalizing it with her, but I feel like I was always more of a friend than she was mine because I was always the one making the effort to be close. That sucks. That sucks. That sucks, like feeling that way, feeling like that you always have to be the one to reach out. I don't know. Like, I guess if I'm like being charitable towards a friend, sometimes people just have a hard time like being the one to reach out. Like, I feel like I'm always the friend that reaches out. Like, I'm always the one that's like, let's do this. When are we doing this? Do you want to do this soon? And some people, like, they just have a hard time doing that, like being the one who brings people together. Maybe because they're so used to you doing it. Yeah, like there might not be much to it. It might just be because, you know, it might just be because she's like, there's so many reasons, but it's definitely hurtful whenever you feel like you're always the one and you never get it in return. I feel so shit. My confession is that I've always been so judgmental of my wine moms. And then I realized a few months ago I had 10 milligram THC drink every day after I put my toddler to bed. I became the monster I mocked. And I don't really feel like stopping because she's unconscious and there's other sober, trusted grown-ups around. In my defense, it's so draining to be an attentive and engaged parent because I refuse to let my baby feel alone or unwanted, but I'm so fucking tired all the time and I want my brain to be quiet for 3 hours. I think I'm the type of loser who needs external permission to treat myself. I mean, I think it's normal to get high or whatever, to smoke weed whenever the kids are in bed. One of the things that I've been thinking about is like, God, how hard it must be to be a parent these days. And like this idea that you have to be monitoring and watching your child 24/7. And if you're not, like somebody else needs to be doing it and how much money that costs. Because like whenever I was a kid, I remember like around 8 or 9 years old, it was like, all right, we're going to work. We'll be back in 5-6 hours. Don't answer the door for anyone. You're watching your 7-year-old and 4-year-old brother or sisters And just like how now it's like, I don't think parents can get away with that. And it's so expensive to have childcare. Like, if it was like known that, oh, like you left your 9-year-old home to watch like their younger sisters, like they would be canceled. Mom Donnie in NYC is fighting for childcare for all. Oh, no, we need it. We need it. And I mean, like, I don't think that it's okay at all to like leave your child alone. I don't think that it's okay that I was left alone like that whenever I was young. But, you know, it's like my family didn't have fucking money to pay for childcare. But now I just feel like it's completely unacceptable. And I understand why, because there is some awful shit that can happen while kids are watching themselves. You know, there's been tragedies happen. And that's why we need free childcare for all, period. I am deeply in love with XQC. Fuck you.